another day on the way to work. It is a balmy 48 degrees. I should slow down. Okay. So, looking at life today has been interesting. I've been watching a blog. A guy named Casey Neistat, who does a vlog every day. He lives in New York City. Has a lot more time than I do. But thinking about doing something like that and recording my life every day sounded really boring to me, which made me realize something. Why am I sitting around bored? Okay, Denton, Texas is not the most exciting place on the planet, but I am 36 miles north of Dallas and 36 miles north of Fort Worth. I could easily get out and go to Dallas or Fort Worth one day, and Dallas and Fort Worth one day, whatever. The short answer to that is I need to get out of my house more. I'm talking about doing this big long trip on the bike, but I can't bring myself to leave my house. That's kind of funny. So it's time to start thinking about that and planning on how to do it differently. The other thing I'm pretty sure of is there's a lot of interesting things that happen around us that we don't necessarily pay attention to. But when all you do is get up, go to work, and then go home, you're not going to see much of the world. And if that's what you like and that makes you happy, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's really not what I want for my life. So I got to figure out why that's how I'm living. If I want to go out and do more, I should go out and do more. There's nothing that's stopping me except for me. And I think that's where a lot of people get hung up, is they don't face the fact that the thing that stops them from doing whatever it is that they want to do is nothing more than themselves. We have obligations and commitments. I've talked about that. But there's ways around that and ways of dealing with it. I have to face the fact that while I want to go do this big massive trip around the country, I don't have to start there. It's not an all or nothing deal. I could go to Dallas and Austin and Houston. There's things in my state that I have never seen before. Oklahoma City is 3 hours away. It's actually closer than Houston. That's kind of funny. Yeah, there's things all around me that I've never seen. Could go down to NASA, for instance. But I wait for the big things, and I think a lot of us do that. I was talking to a guy yesterday who's moving to Austin. He's been wanting to do it for a couple years now, but it's been putting it off, waiting for the right moment. Well, the right moment never gets here. There's always something. It's never the perfect time to do anything. Well, I guess that's not true. Right now is the perfect time to do anything. And even if you can't do the big thing, you can start working toward it, and start planning it. You can start taking the small steps to get things ready to do it. There's a whole world of things that can be involved. There's a motivational speaker person named Mel Robbins, and one of her things is she calls the 5-second rule, and that is when you have a thought and you want to do something, if you don't do it within the first 5 seconds, you tend not to do it. You hesitate, and when you hesitate, you start second-guessing and having second thoughts. You know, this is both a good and bad thing. It can, you know, some things you should have second thoughts about, some things you shouldn't do. When you think it's a good idea to stuff that M80 firecracker in the frog's mouth, that's one of those things you should probably have a second thought about. Yeah. Anything that harms another living creature, that's something to stop and think about before you do it. But things like wanting to go somewhere, yeah, I guess there are reasons to stop and think, you know, can I afford to go? I guess if you haven't paid your bills, then it's probably not the responsible thing to do. But there's ways to make those things happen too if you stop and think. So, oh, that's a nice contradiction. You know, stop and think, but don't stop and think. Okay, now I'm rambling. Yeah, it's figuring out how to make things happen. You can do that. Okay, I can resolve the contradiction now. You hesitate. You don't hesitate. Go ahead and start working toward the goal. And part of that process, part of the jumping right in, is figuring out how to do things. Spontaneity is good, but spontaneity with unnecessary risk is not smart. I said unnecessary risk. Some risk is necessary, some risk is good. Risk can push us out of our comfort zone. But some risk is really pretty stupid and does nothing but get you in trouble. So, just some things to think about when looking at life.